Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful individual. Today, I would like to speak about the journey and the process of development that, more or less becoming present in the moment is the enjoyment of the journey. The whole journey, what you pick up, whatever you can perceive, getting to contemplate on and reflect upon, everything that you yourself get to understand by your own powers and activity, is over time what will make you develop, and the more you get to enjoy the process of it, that you get to become acquainted with change, the present moment, the flow, the state of constant meditation, really. Constant awareness and observation and absorption of memories. Because through memories, clear memories, you can observe and perceive, what you have gone through, what you yourself did. I do rarely, when I look back at memories, look at what others did. I do now and then when I want to see the whole situation, but more often than not, I observe what I did, how I felt, what I thought at the moment. And that brings about a certain... I have had a pretty rowdy life, just to be clear. But over time, by having done certain actions and done stuff, I came to the conclusion that I want to be the opposite. And over time I developed to, not repeat the dumb stuff I did in my youth and in my past. And that has helped me immeasurably in becoming a more upstanding and strong human being, just as an individual. And it helps to also remember where we came from and not become overly zealous and, I have a tendency to go waggle over to extremes because I kind of just go all in most of the stuff I do. But that doesn't mean that you do not need to do the same. By grasping a hold of this flow, this stream, the enjoyment of the journey, you truly get to see more clear, even clearer and clearer, what is in front of you through your senses, through any of your faculties, really. You see reality and the present moment more and more clearly. The more clearly you see it, the more beautiful it becomes, right? Because you can see it through and through for what it is, its structure, its form, its different forces that is building it up, and all of these different subtle realities that we do not necessarily notice as normal human beings because we do not train our mind and our intellect to be able to do so. By changing our focus a little and our intention, our longing towards getting to know these things and reach our hand up to the hierarchy and to Christ, we will be able to slowly but surely open up that clairvoyance again and be able to see more clearly and to be able to, objectively assert a situation and to be able to do action that is effective thereafter, and also in a loving and morally inclusive intention, more or less. It is important to have the intention clear for yourself. The intention really is about holding this love, this compassion, and any kind of hatred, any kind of disdain, any kind of disgust must be, purged from the body, from our being. If we are to truly see things truly objectively, we cannot have such biased feelings. The judgments of the lower beings and such will be handled by the Christ and Father, obviously. We do not yet have the power to judge correctly in the situation, and hence we should, focus on what we can do about it for ourselves. That means What can we build within our own being so we can have in a constancy, a constant, like having toggled on an aura that you constantly hold on as an example. It requires effort. And it might feel like you are pretending, but you are not. You are really, you are growing future faculties. If you believe that you are think about it, from childhood and all the way to until you're passing, you are constantly changing. Your understanding changes, your perspective of life changes. I don't know if you really notice this. If you watch my videos, you really do. You notice them. We do change every 7 years or so. Even, remember this too, every 7 years all your cells in your whole being have been changed. So if you have been holding a 7-year, let's say, strict routine and strict ascetic practices, now we do not go to those extremes because it is not healthy for the European and the Western people in general. We do not go to. It is important to also keep our consciousness soul and our intelligent soul, just as the sentient soul, healthy. By having these three aligned and, well, in cooperation, hand in hand with each other, we can see things from a much more broad angle, but at the same time also in a personal, detailed angle if we have to. It is important to be able to train yourself to change this perspective at any moment's notice and be able to truly fit into any situation when you are required to. We follow along on our intuition on these things. Whatever we are given from day to day is normally what we are working upon, of course. We are given from the spiritual realm inspiration and creativity, and what we do with it, communicate it out or contemplate on it, reflect on it, or having a break, that is also very important, to rest now and then. We need to feel ourselves, be awake to our own inner being and see what our limits and our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, our goals, aspirations. Are we in a stream towards the future and towards next lives, or are we just passively walking by life? Are you an active participant in your own life when you are in truth the center of your own life? You should be, at least. That is what we are. Every single person in this world can say I am to themselves. So we are many centers on this earth, and it's important to respect all of them. That is what we are truly aspiring to be able to complete, without any kind of hatred, judgment, or discrimination in our heart in the end. But we see things objectively, we see where the ugliness and the oppressions, the lies, the indignities lies and so on, and register them. But we see where they are so that they know they are seen. Once they are seen, they are out in the open. It's like when a virus in your body becomes known. The body starts fighting it immediately. It wants it gone, you know? That is why many things are hidden, secret. So it is important that we cultivate something that is transparent, healthy, honest, that counteracts the evil, subtle, and scheming forces. Because they are a reality. They have always been a reality in every mythology, every religion, and they are still a reality today. These lower forces and beings that affect our will, emotions and thoughts, that makes us think or that we allow to let us think certain, degrading thoughts about others and so on, disrespect of another human being. By us being here with our ego, with our center, you do not allow them to be in your being. You are thinking with your thoughts, feeling with your feelings, and exerting your will, or with the help of the higher beings. Of course, you are never alone. But by doing so, these lower forces are forced to stay in their sphere. They are not coming up from below, you see, or from above, because we do have luciferic forces too. From below is the Ahrimanic that affects the will and so on. Lucifer is more affecting our thoughts and feelings. But I digress. To be fully aware that the Christ is a protector and guide and our Savior, once you have that, it is kind of a radiant shield, really, from disdain and disgust. And even though the whole world was hating you, you still would feel love, you know? We stay strong in that, and we do not have any outer compelling to do so. We have chosen to do so in freedom. By choosing so, you will also be given the proper spiritual tools to, well, communicate and to show and to speak in image language so that you can follow along in what I'm trying to explain to you, so you can awaken that sense yourself. I am not giving you every single little thing because I more wish to awaken your curiosity and wonder so that you can go study yourself and find out for yourself. Maybe meditate and sit in your own being. Of course, without the proper concepts and symbols and right, well, practices, one just sits there and don't know what to do because we don't have developed the proper tool to understand it. But once you have dabbled and reflected upon what things mean and the spiritual world behind everything, you will come to get a sense of these things. It is like the third eye opening, really. You see, I see both you, your physical body, but I also get a sense of your etheric body, your astral body, and your ego, and also your thinking, feeling, and willing. So I see more than just your physical being. I also see your spiritual faculties at the same time. And I am very, very curious and interested about that. Because I truly wish to understand another human being so that I can grow in knowledge, so I can help further. But I do not do social interactions just to study a human. That is not what is the purpose. The purpose is truly to really connect as human beings. Then once you have connected and experienced it, you take it with you back and then reflect upon it. Now when you reflect upon it and think, what can I do better? Did I do something that might help for the future, might have been a hindrance? And then you can adjust thereafter. Instead of sitting in defeat if we did something dumb, we say, yeah, I did something dumb. And we said sorry to the person that it might have happened to, as best of our own abilities, right? And then we, well, move along and do better next time. As long as you in example show that you do learn from your experiences, you will rarely experience these things again, because you have shown the higher realms that you have learned from it. Then the karma won't repeat itself. It is lessons, you know. We are here to make amends, to make healing and love, upliftment. And that, by you getting to enjoy the journey, present in the moment, you get to get a feel of all of this. And I am just using my imagination here to show you what I see every single day. I don't just see dead matter outside. I truly use my imagination and my inner faculties to awaken and more layers to this reality. I see what the materialists see. That everything physical, the forms, the shapes, and so on and so forth. But I have many more layers that is more invisible than anything, just like I just said to you, Michaelic thinking. That means we have to become aware that this is the physical reality of things, but behind physical results is spiritual facts. The spiritual world is shaping the physical and giving it form, giving it movement, giving it wisdom and architecture truly. And it has a will and it has a goal, it has aspirations, just like we humans do. And it wishes for us to connect again so we can connect to those aspirations. We cannot build them from earth, from only the earthly, from the human alone. We need help from higher beings to be able to achieve development and unfolding of our future seeds, faculties. Manas, Buddhi and Atman. Spirit self, life spirit and spirit man. That means we have purified our astral body, our longings, passions, anger, sorrows, happy, joyful experiences, dreams, and instincts, and so on. You have, with your ego, transformed that into manas. That is when you are actively within your astral being and working upon it in the light of love. It's the same with our etheric body, our life force. That means everything that keeps our body alive throughout our whole journey. Because we also have a mineral in our body. That means we are constantly breaking down and dying. But our etheric body, given to us by the sun, is also, by the sun and earth. Earth also has an etheric body. And by connecting to that, to the life force, to the inner vitality of yourself and purifying it, transforming it, building in new habits and new good, healthy, promptings for loving actions and so on. That is when you pray, for example, and repeat something, you work into the etheric body and you are transforming it into Buddhi, life spirit. And then at last, when you have been working on these two, you are also working on your physical body through breath and through sitting still, mastering your will, being able to sit in your body, handling it. That is when you are working spirit, man, Atman, into your physical being. So there are 3 layers that will be 7-fold human nature in a sense in the future. And it is all about getting senses of this. I have done this for a lot of years now. So I have been doing a lot of working behind the scenes, as I will always do. I don't need to share, and I don't try to convince you of anything. I just share with you what I find and what I wish to inspire in you, if you allow yourself to feel these things. You can also fight and be skeptical and just disdain all of this. That is your choice, you see. But I love you nonetheless, and I wish well, and I have my intention of wanting you to awaken to your own love and potential yourself, so you can become a loving, beautiful, wonderful human being, an individual that has its own moral compass and, work from your own inner soul and spiritual promptings, not being dragged by every single else, but truly being guided by higher forces and your inner being. So you grow into higher forces in a sense. By following along on what truly is good, loving, moral and beautiful, you will become so in soul, spirit and body in the end. That is just how things works. What you feed your whole being is what you will also become in the end. So I will leave you with this. It was a little fun and it was a slow start, but it ended up getting into something good. So thank you so much for listening to me. You know, I love doing this and speaking about the deep parts of human being, what truly matters. And I wish for you to also feel these things. And that is why I use my intelligent soul to contemplate on these things, to give it like digestible pieces. Although it might seem some of it might seem harsh, it is because we have fallen very low in morality over the past 500 years. And it is about time we spiritually infuse new morality, because the old morality we have now is inheritances from ancient times. And now we need to again connect to what's truly spiritually moral, spiritually loving, nurturing. You see? To not fall into the oppositions, temptations of doing what they do because it is the easiest way. Since everyone is doing it, I will also do it. No, you in freedom chooses what is right. You choose what your path is, and choose for yourself what is good, loving, beautiful, and and truth. Any of these things that might bring about a certain warmth, inclusion, so that you feel safe, and that the world, you are also safe because you have higher teachers around you that are constantly learning you new things and putting higher perspective on it. Although you yourself don't see all of these things yet, you are slowly but surely growing into these things. It's all about faith, love, hope, and also staying grounded in reality, knowing that not flying away into some fantastical fairyland. That is important. To truly, what we see out here is what we connect the spiritual world to. And I think I will leave you with that. And yeah, it is, as I said, what you see out here is what we can truly, well, everyone agree upon is kind of reality. It is the physical, and then it is about finding the many secrets behind it. That is what I meant. And that is also how you keep yourself sane too. You do not end up flying away to some abstraction. Abstractions have a tendency to twist our concrete sense of reality. So that is why we hold our practices strong and stable. And that is what I will leave you with. Thank you so much. I love you all. May Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, ancient masters of old, our ancestors from any lifetimes, and, well, any planetary archangels, bless you, protect you, guide, and love you on your wonderful individual path. Love you so much. May you have a wonderful, wonderful day further. Goodbye.